There we go. That should be live. Is that where's Ollie? I can't see you. Where's my production manager? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? It's not live yet.
Advert.
Oh, it's an advert. Great. It's an advert? Why is there an advert? How annoying. I don't know what else to do. Oh, I've got clappy hands. Can you hear me? Yes? Oh, I've got 4. I'm using my little, like, Mikey thing again. So hopefully... and my countdown thing's just gone off to say a thumbs up. Excellent. Well, I haven't even had time to pull my gin. So I'm literally going to do that right this second. I've got Tanqueray Sevilla gin to remind me of Seville. Let's make it a selfish one. About half a pint of that. And a tonic. Is that going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Bosh. Ah, oh, delicious. Oh, that's really orangey. Well, I apologise already because I have had a bit of a cold, so I might have to blow my nose or cough throughout. What are we up to? Oh, we've got 4 people. That's all right. Let's have a little sip of this. I hope you're all good. Oh, that is quite strong. Oh, I think I might have gone a bit over with the... let's move them out of the way. Might have gone a bit over with the gin. But we're all good. James, or whoever is here, feel free to ask me a question. I've got a bunch of... Hawser buddy, hip finds. I don't know who hip finds is, but I hope you're good. I hope you've all had a good Christmas. Didn't drink too much, eat too much. I did both of those. All good, mate. Hope all's well. Really good. The same as always. Settled this up about 2 hours ago, and then panicked and ran around. And then the last kind of hour is me just clock watching and waiting to get going, but we're going. All's good. So yeah, here we are. But yeah, if it's all good, let's have a look. What have we got? 5 people. All good. James T. Whoever's watching, listening, ask me a question. We'll get some chat going while I get some gin going down. Oh, listen to that. That ain't gonna last very long. But yeah, I've really busy Christmas. I had to go out and deliver potatoes today instead of tomorrow, New Year's Eve tomorrow. But yeah, can't complain. But yeah, I hope we're all good. You all right? It's all good. I'm getting a thumbs up. I'm getting a thumbs up from my production assistant. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, you can go back upstairs. I'm always worried with these that it doesn't go live or I don't know how high to go or how low to go with that. But yeah, I've got a Christmas tree twinkling in the background, the mini Christmas tree, the giant Christmas trees in the background. And then yeah, I don't know when we. Thanks for the content this year. No worries. I'm glad you. What's been your favourite video? Ask me something you wish to elaborate on before we get busy. What tends to happen is it starts really slow, these, and then I can't keep up with all the questions are like rattling through, and I can't keep up with them. And then I think last time a load of people started their own little chat about some BMW stuff and some sort of Porsche stuff. Welcome to live chat. Remember, yeah, no, learn more. Get rid of that. Evening, Matt Maynard's on here as well. Hello, mate. Good to see you literally yesterday. Love the Euro trip videos. Oh yeah, I need to do more We were supposed to go to the Nürburgring actually. I did do a petrol tours this year with my buddy David in the Caterham. Petrol tours is always good fun. Anyone that's got half a like inkling of going off and doing some like road trips, if you can afford it, go and do petrol tours. Honestly, they're the best, most fun, organised. If you've got a half decent speedy car, that's what I was going to say. If you've got half a decent speedy car, probably 250 brakes, probably the minimum if you're a half decent peddler. If you're not, you might need a bit more to power than that, but definitely go and do that. The MX5 stuff is epic. My car was not supposed to have had as many videos on it as I've done. I didn't. It hasn't been a troublesome car. I don't want to say that. However, there's been lots of niggly things. It's never really let me down. There's been lots of like little niggly things that just. I mean, the rust was pretty bad. I went, literally 2 months into ownership. I think I went to go and jack it up, and we got like a 2-poster lift at the farm. It's got like 4 feet that go out and obviously go on the 4 jacking points. And as we started to lift it up, one corner stayed on the ground and literally the foot just went straight up into the car, and it was like a crunching sound and lumps of metal were coming off, and that was not good. But massive shout out to my buddy Sam, who was not phased at all. And I bought a replacement panel. He remade the wheel arch because that was all rotten inside as well. It got kind of chased. I went round to his and we were like stabbing it with a screwdriver. We're like, oh, it's there. And then we followed it round the corner and then we followed it up. And I was like, all right, just give me that bar. And I just went like that, all up in the wheel arch, and it all just fell out and was just like a hell of a mess. And then did that side last year, did the other side. That wasn't as bad, but we still did that side. And then other than that, radiators had a load of holes in it and started leaking. But radiators, like it's 110,000 miles. Radiators get holes in, like, and it was literally 70 quid. Took me about 5 minutes to replace that, so that wasn't too bad. And then I've done that little leaky water pipe thing was a bit of a faff, but again, 90 quid. Phoned MX5 parts, and they had what they I said, have you got these in stock? He went, yeah, we got 16 on the shelf. We sell loads of them. So it's just one of those things. It's a 20-year-old car. It does get quite a bit of abuse. I've absolutely loved having a convertible car. I've loved having a rear-wheel drive car. Done plenty of skids at Goodwood and Goodwood 2 years ago. Last year, Bedford this year, on my rubbish, cheapy old tyres. Tyres are cheap. That's the thing about a light car is consumables are cheap. So brakes are cheap, tyres are cheap. And if the car's cheap and you don't care too much about it, then service it yourself. Like do what needs doing. Don't worry about service history and putting miles on it, and don't lock it away for the winter, and just keep driving it, just to keep kicking it and keep kicking it in the head. It's got heated seats. The heater gets up to temperature really quickly, which is really cool, especially in this weather. First couple of times I was driving it around, I thought I had like an overheating problem because it just heats up so quickly, but it just does. It comes straight up to temperature, and which is great for short journeys, obviously, especially with the roof down. It's been great. It's been great. Trust me, it's a good basic car. I have a 350Z, but miss my MX5, proper little cheap whip. 350Zs are really good. Dom from the pub has got he's had a couple of 350Zs, and they're mega. They're a bit heavy, which then means they're a bit heavier on brakes, especially Dom, because he's missed the brakes. He's the only person that's ever overtaken me in the rain on a wet track day, and I've smelt his brakes. He's just no fear. That was at Spa, I think I was in a Civic, and he come past in his 350Z, and he could smell his brakes. They make a great noise. They're super comfortable. I think he had the one with the bulge in the bonnet. So is that the 350Z GT? Is that the later one? I think, I'm not really sure. But yeah, great. And I've had another couple of mates that have had them as well, but they're just quite juicy. Like on a run on my MX5, I get like 40 to the gallon out of it. Excuse me, not on a track day, obviously. Excuse me, HR. I don't know what HR is. 350Z HR. You'll have to elaborate. I don't know what HR means. H&R springs, coilovers. I don't know. But no, my MX5 has been a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. High rev. So what do they rev to? I don't know. Yeah, my Mazda's not as quick as my Civic, but it's got more grunt. So I think it's like 130 brake, and my Civic's 160. But the Civic, all the power is at the top. It's only a 1.6, my Civic, so all the power is at the top. Whereas the MX-5 is a 1.8. But it kind of, when you ring it out, it doesn't seem to like come on cam, or, you know what I mean? When you're driving a lot of stuff, it gets to like 4,000 or 5,000 revs, and then it really takes off. It just seems to rev kind of linear like throughout. So there's no kind of real urgency to really ring it out and thrash it, but there's also no need because it is quite a torquey engine. So you don't need to ring it out. I do, obviously. It's, every now and again you've got to check the rev limiter is still there. But yeah, other than that, Mr. Peter Curtin, I'm very good, sir. How are you? I'm very good. Orange gin on the go. Lovely. I'll tell you a quick story, actually. Tanqueray Sevilla Gin. I was on Petrohead Tours. We were in Pamplona on the final day, and I was going to the bar, and I said, "What?" I said, "Have you got like a local gin?" And he pulled out the Tanqueray Sevilla gin. He went, "Oh," he said, "this is from Seville, where they grow the oranges in Spain, obviously. Oh, it's fantastic. It's this local." Came back to the UK. I bought a bottle of it in Tesco's. So it was a great story. But it still reminds me of Petrohead, which is great, and it is nice. It's like alcoholic squash. 313 horsepower, over 297 for regular GT. So it's actually above the GT. I didn't realise that. MX-5 is so light. Did you ever consider an MR2? I didn't consider an MR2. I think because they're not convertible, and they're more expensive. Like the MX-5s, there's so many MX-5s around. And they're just cheap, and parts are cheap, and there's always spare bits, and there's loads of forums and stuff. And actually, in hindsight, it's actually been a really good car for content because there are so many MX-5s around. So when I fix something, I always try and make a quick video on fixing something. And because there's so many MX-5s around, they end up getting views because other people are fixing usually the similar problems on their MX-5s. So a lot of the things I have done are just common things. The only thing I didn't do a video on was fixing the electric window, driver side window. I was on a SCC private members thing. Me and Brad drove back to the pub. I blame Brad for this, even though it's not his fault. But he went to go and put my window. I was pulling the roof over. He went to go and put my window up. So he basically used the switch. That's why I'm blaming him. And my window literally went about an inch, and it just went, and I was like, oh, and there was like a ping sort of sound. And basically the cable for the electric window, it's a bit of a design flaw, but the cable for the electric window runs along the bottom of the inside of the door. So when it rains on any car, the water runs down the window and then runs down inside the door and out the bottom of the door. And the bottom of the door, if it starts to get slightly rusty or starts to get a bit of debris and stuff, this bit of wire just sits in the debris and in the rust. So with the wire going back and forth through this, it also drags it all into the electric motor. And yeah, it's common that after a while they just ping. So I ended up putting a whole new, I think it was like 110 quid or so. It's not a massive amount. Take the door panel off. It's literally like 3 clips. Whole door panel comes off. Put a new window regulator in, and now when I've put the windows up, there's a bit of a race between the two windows because the passenger side is still the original one. So it normally beats the driver side. Normally beats the passenger side by about a second. But there you go. Wow. There we go. No more questions from it, or have I run out of things already? No, I haven't. That's it. Come on. Someone asked me something. What else do you want to know? I'm trying to think of some other things that I can say or tell you, but I haven't. As you can tell, I can ramble anyway. But plans for 2025. There's a few things I can say. There's a few things I can't say. My main thing that I want to do, and we meant to do it this year. We meant to go to the Nürburgring October time. It's one of those. Every time we try and organise like a Nürburgring trip, there's like 20 people that want to go, and then as it gets nearer the time, there's like 15 that want to go, and then it's 12, and then 8, and then it just ended up being me and Dom. So it was just the two of us. So we never went. But my plan for next year, I would love to. Two things I want to do actually. I'd love to take this is the two things I want to do with the MX-5. I'd love to take the MX-5 on a Nürburgring trip and a Spa track day, kind of all in one thing. The Spa's about an hour, hour and a half away, so it's not that far away. So to go and do a Nürburgring trip and then a Spa track day, kind of either on the way there or the way back, would be really cool. Just need to put some new front brakes on. The car's fine as it is, but the front, after Bedford, the steering wheel got a bit wobbly. So I need some, it's fine when they're cold, but when they get up to temperature, they're a bit wobbly. So I think it's pad deposits. But I'm going to go for what I do on the Civic, which is Pagid blank discs. They're like 25 quid for a pair, I think. And then some PBS Pro race pads, and they're about 130 quid, I think, for a pair of racy pads. And they got really good cold bite as well, so you can use them on the road. I'm not sure if you're supposed to use them on the road, but they are pretty dusty. That's the only problem with them. They're really, really dusty, but they seem to last for ages. And then yeah, Spa, Nürburgring, and more track days. I just love doing track days, but it's just fun. My goal in life would be to I'd be, if I won loads of money, I'd be happy to keep the rubbish that I've got and just go and do at least one track day a month and at least a Nürburgring trip and a foreign track day a year, because that I just love being out on track. I love driving around, especially with mates. A couple of Petro tours as well if I was getting really greedy. In something probably better than my MX-5 R8 convertible. I think that's still my go-to Petro tours car, because roof down, V10 singing. Like, I always have dreams about driving Chris's R8 up the Serra de Estrella in Spain on that Petro tours. What a machine, and what a generous gentleman for letting me thrash it as well. And then other plans for 2025 would, I can't say too much about it, but there is a new vehicle coming next month. It's not here yet. It's coming over from Japan. I've probably said too much already, but I've imported something from Japan. It's coming over next month, and that's going to be fun and a series of videos and some good fun, a bit of content, and then see where that goes. A couple of people have already said that they would. Let's get that there. That they would want to use it to, or like sticker it up and advertise it and put it on their show, advertise their show and stuff. So we'll see where that goes. So that way, that's that way. So I'm trying to get myself lined up with the middle of the picture. I don't really need to. So yeah, got that to come in. It's another rust bucket as well. It's Japanese stuff. The engine will last forever, but the chassis just rot out. But that's the way it is. There's a couple of things that I've potentially booked in for, which is also an income as well. So there's 1, 2, 3 things that I can think of, which if that takes off, that would be awesome. Highlight of 2024, apart from bumping into me at Cop Hill. Oh, you're James Team. Okay. Highlight of 2024. That genuinely was brilliant. So thank you, James, for inviting me up to drive your car, your dad's car. I can't remember. It's sort of your car and sort of your dad's car, which was awesome. Never been to Cop Hill before, so to get an invite for that and then get a press pass and all that sort of stuff was really, really cool. This is disappearing quick. What are we, 18 minutes in? I'm nearly done half a pint. That was really, really cool. And what a great noise. And it was there. I was there with a Bentley blower. Oh, okay. You're not sorry. No, the other guy's David. I'm so bad with names as well. I'm really sorry. David. I thought his name's David James. David. I think David James is his name. Yeah, I'm rambling already. Yes, so you're car mad lad, not to be confused with car mad dad or car _mad _dad. Yeah, with a Bentley blower. Yes. No, David let me drive his Jag up the hill, up the course, which is really, really cool. And he got me to press passes to get in and all that sort of stuff, which is really, really cool. Highlight of 2024. What my other highlights? Do you know what? I can't even remember what I've done. If anyone is 40, you might be able to sympathise. If anyone's not 40 yet, warning: you just will not be able to remember anything. I'm bad with names anyway, but I just can't remember anything. It's just awful. Names is the worst, and currently trying to remember what I've done. Driving up the hill at Festival Speed again was definitely a highlight, and doing it for a manufacturer, even though it was last minute, and getting paid for it as well was awesome, and being able to help out as well, because it was real last minute. I got a phone call: "Are you still on site? Have you got your race license? Go and get signed in quick. You're taking a car up the hill." And I've did, and I put on a good show, and I think they've booked me in for some more stuff as well, which is really cool. So 2025, I've potentially, they've talked about booking me in already, so if that happens, that'll be really, really cool. See where it goes. Another highlight would be also at Festival Speed meeting Travis Pastrana, absolute hero of mine. What a legend. Yeah, I wandered up through the driver's lounge and bumped into my buddy Dom, the cameraman, who helps me film some of my videos. And he was there, and we had a bit of a chat, and I was saying about I was driving up the hill and da-da-da. And I said, "Oh, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, we're just waiting for Travis Pastrana to come down. We're doing an interview in a minute." And I was already like fanboy, and I'm like, and then I turned around, and he was wandering down. He's big, he's tall, and he's square. And as he was wandering down, he had a right limp on. And then as he got to like where we were, I thought, right, I'll get out of the way and let you do your like interview and stuff. And while they were setting him up with a mic and stuff, I thought, I've got to go and say hello to Travis. Like, what a legend. And I actually name dropped a buddy of mine, a guy called Andrew Coley, who does the commentary for, he used to do World Rally Cross, and now does Nitro Cross, or Nitro Rally Cross, whatever they call it. So I came out, and they he sometimes, if Travis is beaten up, he is commentating with Andrew in the comms box. So I said that. So I went over to Travis, and immediately kind of went, I said, "Oh, hi." I said, "Sorry to disturb you." I said, "My buddy Andrew Coley like says hi," and immediately went, "Oh, Andrew, oh, I love Andrew." Da, da, da. And then the two of us were like, and immediately kind of that was like we were like sort of mates, and yeah, we were chatting away, and I said, "Oh," he said, "Look, you got a bit of a limp on." He said, "Yeah, I've just had a hip replacement." I'm like, I said to him, to be fair, you have been throwing yourself at the scenery for the last 30 years, at which point he did laugh a lot. And I said, but fair play though. And I grew up on Nitro Cross and all that sort of stuff, which is awesome. But yeah, what a legend. Nice, the nicest guy, but he looks like he was in a lot of pain, but massive as well. He looks sturdy. He looks like he could throw himself at the scenery quite a lot. Oh, we've got a few questions coming now. What's your favourite UK track? Do you follow any drivers or teams? I don't follow any drivers and teams really. I don't really watch Formula One. I don't really watch a lot of telly, I'll be honest. The only people I try and keep up to date with is people that I know that are racing. So Charles Rainford, he took me out in his Carrera Cup car last month, 2 months ago. Last month. I try and keep tabs on what he's doing, but again, usually only through Instagram. I don't get a chance to watch the races. Max Bird's another mate of mine, does Carrera Cup. James Kelly, I try and keep tabs of what he's doing. He's another mate of mine. But again, no, not a great deal. Is it a turbo Nissan Figaro, perhaps? No, it isn't. I know the ones you mean. Those random little, are they like convertible things? But they are a bit weird. But no, it's not one of those. It's probably about as rusty and slow as one of those, though. Not that James, but yeah, Benny Blair. Too many Jameses. Yeah, it's not. If you're a James, he's actually David. I'm sure he's David. I'm pretty sure he's David. I think it's David James. Is James his middle name? That's where I got the James from. But yeah, what a gentleman. He messaged me and just said, "Oh, do you want to come to Cockpill? He watches my YouTube videos." He said, "Do you want to come along? I'll try and get you in. You can drive my supercharged XKR." I don't really do Jag, so I'm trying to think what it was. It was an XKR. I've probably ruined this already. XKR something. It was supercharged, but it'd also been like wound up as well. So I think it was like 600 and something horsepower, and it had some extra exhaust pipe on it, and and it sounded mega. It did sound really, really good, and was quick as well. Oh, there we go. XKR GT. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know Jags. But yeah, what a gentleman. And then yeah, bacon rolls and walk around the show, and it was such a hot, lovely day as well. But yeah, Cop Hill, never heard of it before. And I said to a couple of other mates, I was like, oh, I'm going to Cop Hill. Have you ever heard of Cop Hill? Oh, yeah, Cop Hill. Yeah, I've been to that before. And I've never heard of it. But yeah, that was really, really awesome. Have you booked any more Petro tours for 2025? I haven't. I'd like to definitely do one. I'd ideally like to do them all. As anyone that watches any of my Petro tour stuff probably realizes. What is that sound? I feel like the cat is attacking a bit of carpet near me. We doing, Pegs? Don't know. The cat only just come in. I heard her come in. Petro tours. I'd love to do Petro tours. I did Alps this year. Only done Alps once before, and in the other direction. It's quite a good idea for what Pete does. He does every year, or every time he does the trip, he tries to do it in an alternate direction. Because normally, because then when you change it around, what you're driving at last time was in the rearview mirror. So it's kind of it kind of mixes it up, and it's great. And then normally change a few hotels and a few different routes and stuff. But yeah, just Petro tours. I just love the Petro tours forever. That would be my dream to do all the Petro tours and somehow make money off it as well. Any plans for another drive out, coffee and bacon baps? Obviously, I'd love to do another drive out. I've talked several times with Dom from the pub about doing a drive out back to his place like I did with the M3. And every time I went to go into pencil it in, the weather was just horrible. The reason that drive out I kind of had to stick to is because I had that M3 for a week, and I only had it over one weekend. So I penciled it in on that Saturday, and it was kind of going to take place on that Saturday regardless. So I kind of penciled it in, I think, like a week and a half before, and said like this, I'm doing this drive out this Saturday. So kind of regardless of what the weather, that's what we did, and we ended up getting like 40 something cars. Some guys with McLarens came down from Milton Keynes, and it was just mad. I'd like genuinely got a bit emotional when I got to the pub to see the amount of cars over there. It was incredible. And then we all had breakfast at the Anglesey Arms, and then we drove up through up to the Owl in Horsham. And then I took a few people out for some launch controls and some passenger rides in the M3. But I think that was the last one I've done. So, and the trouble is the weather in the UK is just so hit and miss. You just never know what it's going to do. So unless it is actually going to, it's going to be dry for like a week, or I'm busy. That's the other thing, is that I would like to do one next Saturday. Oh no, I've just had a job come in, or like a last minute job for Goodwood or Rolls Royce or like SEC or like whatever. So it's just it's whether I'm free and whether the weather is good. But yeah, there we go. Think of let's go on Tuesday. I really enjoy watching your Petro Tours vids. I'll be honest, I do go back and watch my Petro Tours video, and sometimes I wish I didn't, because it just makes me miss Petro Tours even more. Like, to people that have been on a Petro Tours or any like road trip where you go out with your mates and it's just mega. On the Petro Tours, we call it post-tour blues, because it's so thick and fast. Not that it's like tiring. I mean, it is a bit tiring, but you just up in the morning, breakfast, briefing, out on the road, amazing views. It's quite fast paced, so you're just like pounding the roads, lunch, pounding the roads to the pub, to the hotel, into the bar, go for a quick swim if you can to the pool, dinner, bed, and then up again. So it's like, and then the first day you get back home, you're kind of up in the morning, you're like, where's all my mates? Where am I? Where's like why is there not like 20 cool cars in the car park, and we're all going to go for a blast up some mountain roads? The probably the worst Petro Tours I had was my first Petro Tours, because it was so amazing anyway. It's such an eye opener into like, wow, this is so cool. And then I was on it with Super Gav in his straight piped A12, which is probably one of the coolest cars I've ever seen on any tour. And then he let me drive that on tour. Excuse me. So literally came back, he dropped me off, and then the next car that I drove after driving a straight piped Ferrari 812 on a Petro Tours in Spain down of like twisty mountain roads, the next car that I drove was my Honda Civic to the farm to go and deliver some potatoes. So it's just a massive like, oh dear, really? Come on. So yeah, that was a bit of a, that was not a letdown, but it's yeah. Oh, cat's gone out again. I'm in the conservatory, and she basically jumped. We leave our little window open in the bedroom, and she jumps out the little window. So that's how she gets in and out. It saves us putting a cat flap in the window of conservatory, which is handy. So yeah, if I haven't mentioned it already, book up a Petra Tours. Oh, that's it for questions. Oh, there. But yeah, Petra Tours, amazing. Other plans for 2025. Yeah, sort out my little JDM import that I've got coming over. I should be able. I've thought of about 5-6 videos to do on that already. Like one will be a cleaning up video because I've seen some pictures of it already, and it looks pretty dirty. It looks pretty ropey. There'll probably be a bit of painting involved and a bit of that sort of stuff. Maybe do like a video on like roughly how to import one, because you've got to make it road legal in the UK as well. You've got to register it, get it MOT'd, a bunch of other stuff, and then probably give it a good service, do some servicey stuff on that as well, and then festival speed, like I've already said. I'd love to be working with the guys from Momoda again, or I mean anyone. I'm freelance. I'm happy to whoever books me in. But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I'm not bothered who I drive for. Non-correlated, but where do your spuds go? Any crisps you contribute to? So no. So I buy and sell potatoes to mainly chip shops and restaurants. So my granddad started. So he moved to the farm in the 50s. He started growing potatoes in the 60s. 1968, I think, was the first year that he grew them and actually went to sell them himself. He bought a load of bagging machines and bagged them up to sell them to local shops and local chip shops. Some of those chip shops I still deliver to now. So he was delivering them, and then my dad was delivering them. And then when I came back from uni, his shoulder was playing up. I know, I've been to uni. Yeah, I'm not clever. I came back from uni, so I took over from him in 2001 or 2 when I came back from uni, and I've been delivering potatoes ever since. It's one day. It used to be 2 days a week. It has dropped down a little bit, and so now I do it all. I can manage to fit it all in 1 day a week. But yeah, they mainly go to chip shops because they get through a lot of potatoes. Like some shops I'm delivering to get through like 40, 50, 60 bags a week. There's 40 bags to a ton. So some shops, the guys down the coast, there's some guys down in Witterins and Selsey that when it's summertime and it's sunny and especially a bank holiday weekend, they will probably get through nearly 2.5 tons of potatoes just in chips, which is just mad. But people come from London, they go down to the beach, they get a bag of chips on the way home, or they go into the restaurant or whatever and get some chips. And so yeah, it's pretty much chips. But we stopped growing them 2007 or 8. Because yeah, we just weren't making much money out of growing them, and it's so weather dependent as well. There was a couple of years where it poured with rain at harvest time, and all the potatoes got stuck in the ground, and we lost like 100 grams worth of spuds. And then you still got to go and buy potatoes because all your potatoes are still in the ground, and then because a lot of other people are also in that same predicament, then the price of potatoes has gone sky high. So we had it 2 years ago. I think they went up to like 26, 28 pound a bag, which is not good at all. They should be about 10 or 12 ideally. At the moment they're like 15, 16, which is, yeah, it's not great. So but yeah, I still buy them in. I'll deal with a guy in Cambridgeshire, and then we chat every week, and he runs me through what he's got. I try and get the same stuff again, so you don't mess your customers around, and I'll try and go for something half decent at a sensible price, and I'll just get a delivery of those once a week and go around in with transit when I'm not fixing it, and yeah, delivering spuds. But yeah, to answer your long-winded question, chip shops. But the crisps usually go direct from They don't go in bags. They normally go in bulk. So everything that I buy is already bagged up. The crisp plants, so like Walkers and McCain's obviously do the chips and that sort of stuff. They tend to get stuff in bulk lorries, bulkers, straight off the farm. So they will go and drive them straight to there and then tip them up. And that's where you get your crisps and chips and all that sort of stuff. My dad used to deliver potatoes in a Ford Zephyr back in the late 70s in East London to corner shops. I got a feeling my dad used to have a Ford Zephyr, but I'm not sure if it was for delivering spuds. That's not a van, is it? No, Ford Zephyr's a car. Do you know what? I don't even know. I think a Ford Zephyr's a car. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I got a Transit now. Before that, we had an Iveco Daily. Yes, as a car. Before that, we had a Ford. We had a smiley face Transit, which was a Luton van. And then before that, it was I think it was another Transit van, but it was petrol. And then before that, it was a Bedford CF van, which was, I mean, that was years old, and it wasn't very big either. I can fit a fair few spuds in my van. I sometimes put slightly more spuds in there than I'm supposed to, but the van takes it as good as gold. But yeah, Ford delivering spuds in a Ford Zephyr. Yeah, random. Oh dear. Well, I seem to have run out of questions again. I'll tell you what, last year, I couldn't keep up with the questions. Last year, everyone's like gone to bed early, or maybe it's too early. I don't know. What we got? We've still got 7 on. Maybe I could go back for some more of what have I already talked about. Oh, well, I see. I've got a mouse this year. Last year, I didn't have a mouse. I'm on my missus' laptop. I didn't have a mouse. I'm trying to think about more stuff that I've done this year. Correct. Going around the track in my buddy Charles Rainford's Carrera Cup car was incredible. It's something that we'd talked about since he first started racing in 2021. I said to him, I'd love to come out with you in your race car. And he said, we do have like sponsor days, and we do have days where there's like testing days. But obviously they're testing the car and they can't be mucking around with like taking people out for passenger rides. And then when they have the sponsor days, they're taking sponsors out that have paid like 200 grand to put their name on the side of the car. And I'm like, no offense, but I'm not paying you 200 grand to come out with you. And I work with him at Goodwood. He's one of the instructors at Goodwood. So I see him all the time. And every now and again, I'm like joking. I'm like, oh, when am I coming out in your race car again? Oh, yeah, no, soon, hopefully. And then bumps into him. We were chatting at Festival Speed. We were just chatting away. And he suddenly went, oh, November the 5th. And I was like, fireworks night. And he went, no. He said, November the 5th, Silverstone, sponsored day. We're going out. And I was like, he said, bring your camera stuff. And if we can do like a little interview and stuff as well, which we did. And my days, I was expecting it to be amazing, but it just blew my mind. Absolutely incredible. Like, yeah, he took everyone that he was taking out I think they were getting like 3 laps from 4 laps, but he took me out for like 7, I think. And they waited until, because they knew I was going to be doing some filming, they waited until they put new tyres on, newer tyres, and new pads in the front. So he had to get everything up to temperature, kind of bed the pads in slightly. But the bit that sent me, I thought I was going to be sick, is that it was going down the straight and he was just swerving left and right and double pedaling. So he's literally like down the straight, and I just felt so sick, like being on a fairground ride where you're not 100% sure what's going to happen next, or like what you're looking at and what you're feeling, like 2 different things. And I just felt really sick, to the point where I thought I might actually be sick, but I'd already worked out how to open the door by then. So I thought worst case scenario. But actually, once he got into it and went full send, I started feeling like less sick but more exhausted. It was like I was only a passenger, and it just takes its toll. It's absolutely mad. So yeah, he's like swerving around and hitting the brakes and stuff. And I've been round Silverstone in a few things, but going down the main straight, once he gave me the thumbs up, like everything's warmed up, I'm like, yeah, go on, send it. And we like passed where you would like, I think it was a brake board, or where you'd like start braking, and he's gone for another gear up, and I'm like, oh grief. And then he's just nailed the brakes and chucked it in, and I did not did not feel good. But yeah, I mean, what a bit of kit. And then the final lap, like full send, he went for an up change in the entrance to the pit lane. So he's come round the final corner, gone diagonal straight across the track, down the pit lane. It's like still flat on the gas. Gone for another gear as we're starting to go down the exit road, because obviously you want to carry as much speed till there's a point where you have to. There's obviously a pit lane speed limit, and you want to be going as fast as you can until the point where you need to hit the brakes and get yourself down to the pit lane speed limit. And at Silverstone, it's quite a long pit lane. So we were just absolutely flat out down this pit lane, and my eyes were wide, and I was like, "Good grief!" And then when we came in, I think I got it on video, and I was just like, "Mate, you're not right," because it's just, and that's what he does. That's what he does for a job. And I said to him, like, "How long was that?" He's like 6, 7 laps or whatever. I was like, "How long was the race?" He's like 30. And it was November. It was cold. It was hot in the car. I literally had a t-shirt and hoodie on. I was baking. He's got like full Nomex, like 5 suit and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just sitting there. He's sitting there, hanging on and trying not to cry. And he's the one doing all the work and thinking about. And this was just a jolly as well. So when he's racing, he's obviously got even more to think about, and he's not trying not to crash the car and hit other people and whatever. So to do that for 30 laps in June when it's 30 degrees, fair play to him. I'm like, nuts. Yeah, Cup Carve, it was amazing. Yeah, honestly, that was a mega experience. I've gone back and watched that a couple of times just because, and the noise of that thing as well, it's just real mechanical, and you just hear that like transmission whine, and it's just epic. What's a typical week? A day on the Spuds? Is the rest of YouTube, or do you have other things going on? Yeah, a bit of YouTube stuff, bit of helping my dad on the farm, bit of Goodwood stuff, bit of Rolls Royce stuff, although I haven't done loads of Rolls Royce stuff this year. Last year I did like Lake Como and a few other bits, which was really cool. But they're quite long days. I still enjoy them, but they're quite long days. And then obviously the responsibility of driving a like 400 grand car around a foreign country. But it is what it is. And then a bit of Goodwood stuff, and then a bit of YouTube stuff, bit of like repairs on my own car, and then helping my dad do a few bits, and whatever's doing. So nothing. Try not to be too busy, but obviously still got bills to pay. I have a couple of mates who are going for their bike license. You ever fancy doing it? So I've actually got a full bike test. So I passed my motorbike test before I passed my car test, and I had a couple of motorbikes. And actually sold it when the kids were little, just because I was always, even when the kids were like really little, when they'd go down for a sleep, I'd just go out for two hours for a little blast. And it just got to the stage for like 2 years. It just sat in the garage, and I just never used it. And I thought, do you know what? I'll sell it, but then when the kids are older and big enough to go on the back, I'll get another one. And I won't. Now I'm older, and I think the standard of driving on the UK roads is just slowly getting worse. The potholes are horrendous, and I don't think I'll go back on a bike. I think when you're like in your 20s, you feel like indestructible. I had a few bike crashes, and you're a bit sore the following day, and you like just bounce and get back up again. I fell off my mountain bike this year and broke my ribs. Like, you know what I mean? When you're old, it was a fairly spectacular accident, I must admit, up at Bike Park Wells. But when you're young, you bend and bounce, and when you're old, you just break, and you're just out of action for ages. And I genuinely think I'm not saying that I won't ever get on another bike. I might hire one or do like a trip or something like that. But I've got too many mates that are. I'm already a bit broken. I broke my leg years ago, and that aches every day. And I've got mates that are in wheelchairs because of bike accidents. And it's not, out of all the silly, stupid stuff that they did, it's not them. It's someone. It's a car driver. They said, like, one of my mates wheelied for so long at night, he had to fit a headlight underneath his fairing that shone down the road. So when he's like wheeling like that, he's got a headlight underneath so that he can see where he's going. But he said the crash that ended him in a wheelchair was someone came back across some chevrons and sideswiped him into Central Reservation. Not his fault at all. And on a bike, you've just got no protection around you. So I'd love to get back on another bike, but I don't. I did 10, 15 years on bikes, and I don't get excited to get back on a bike again. Because I've done it. I don't feel like I'm missing out. Does that make sense? And in a weird way, I do get some of the buzz from being in the Mazda. So to have the roof down and be out in the elements, but also have a car around you and a heater and a stereo, etc., etc. It's I always say that like a Caterham is like a four-wheeled motorbike. It's the first time I think since my motorbike. I think I said it in my Caterham review video. It's the first time I've ever gone for a drive just to go for a drive. Like when you've got a motorbike, you just go for a ride for like 2 hours. Which is the other reason why I don't really use it that much, because you don't really go and use it for journeys. You don't really. I have to take the dog to work, and it's only like 2 miles up the road, so I wouldn't use that for work. So you have to go for a ride on a bike. And when I had the Caterham, I would just go for a drive just to go and put some miles on it. And I have done that a couple of times in the Mazda as well. But to get the roof down, you feel like you're like not part of the scenery. You don't want to be part of the scenery, but you're outside and yeah, that's just yeah. So I'll get a bit of that from the Mazda, but no, I don't think I'd get a bike again. No. Are you doing Brooklands Museum New Year's gathering on New Year's Day? I was potentially, however, for 2 reasons I might not be. One, something else has come up that we might be doing New Year's Day. Also, you may not know, New Year's Day is predicted 60-mile-an-hour winds and pouring with rain for I think 24 to 48 hours, and then the day after is going to be -1. So I'm not sure that many people will be at Brooklands in their posh cars. Excuse me. No, if the storm doesn't happen and what I might be doing New Year's Day doesn't happen, then I will go out there. But I'm not sure. It may even get cancelled. What I was thinking of doing might also get cancelled because of the storm. But yeah, I think it's 60-mile-an-hour winds. But yeah, what else we got? That's it. We're back on. I thought I was even rambling to try and cover these questions. And we've run out of questions again. But I'm gonna have to get another gin. Oh, we've got another one. Just gave you a thumbs up. Got to go. Take care. Happy New Year. You too, buddy. I'm working. I literally this last hour I had messages from like 5 people saying, "Oh, I was hoping to jump on, and I can't do it now. I've got to go to a party, go to work, go to whatever." You're working New Year's Day. Oh, that sucks. New Year's Day, you're working, so that means you can't have a few gins on New Year's Eve. To be fair, I never really get excited New Year's Eve. I'm normally up till midnight anyway, and then just watch whatever's on telly and then just go to bed. It's just another night, isn't it? It's just like yeah, I'd never really get that excited for New Year's Eve. We certainly don't go out. We haven't been out since probably even before the kids. Maybe we did go out with the kids. Certainly not since we've been married, because it's just like anywhere you want to try and get to is like any pubs that are normally free to get in and now suddenly 20 or 30 quid. Everywhere's super busy. And then literally like 12:05, you can't get a taxi. So probably not going to bother with that, to be honest. But yeah, we might do something. We might get to cut our friends over and have some nibbles in front of the fire, watch something to Christmassy. I've still got loads of Christmas films to watch. I put up a thing on my Instagram today, what Christmas films am I missing out on? Because I've done, over the last kind of 2 weeks, I've done Miracle 34th Street, The Santa Claus, the cheesy one with Tim Allen, brilliant. Die Hard 1, 2, which are Christmas films. Lethal Weapon 1, not 2. 2's not a Christmas film. Number 1 is, because he goes to his house for Christmas turkey. And then what else have I watched? I can't even remember. But somebody today said I need to watch Violent Night, which is like David, whatever his name is, can't remember. He's married to Lily Allen. It's him and some other people. It's like some Christmas action thriller. I mean, that sounds awesome. And then Elf. I haven't watched it. I forgot all about Elf. Elf's amazing. Grinch. I don't even think I've watched the Grinch. That's the Jim Carrey one, right? I don't think I've watched the Grinch. And I can't even remember. I've had so many people message me stuff. Trading Places, watched last night. Love Trading Places. Love Actually. Do I want to endure Love Actually? I don't know. I probably would. If I have another one of these in a minute, I might do that. Shrek the Hall. Someone said Shrek, and I was like, Shrek's not a Christmas film. He went Shrek the Hall. So I was like, well played. Gremlins. Obviously, Gremlins is a Christmas film. The Holiday. I don't think I've seen The Holiday. Is that the one with the two couples? I'm not sure. And then Nightmare Before Christmas. I haven't seen that. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's always good. And Jingle All the Way. Everyone loves Jingle All the Way. Cheesy Arnie film. It was actually really good. I think that's his first. Was that his first comedy film? No, because he'd done Twins by then. But anyway, right, I've got no more questions, so I'm going to do a bunk, because also I think I might have just heard my missus turn up, and she might have a load of shopping. I've got to help her unload. But thank you so much for watching, enduring. To keep an eye on the channel, there's a few things that hopefully, when this thing turns up from Japan, hopefully that should give my channel a good boost, because I think people will be interested to see it, learn about it, come and have a go at it for like whatever. It's not really a track day. It's not really a track day thing, but I mean, you could do. But yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. So have a good New Year. Don't drink responsibly, he says. Catch up soon. Have a great New Year. You too, James. Have a good one. Again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you have. And I'll say see you on the next one. I always say that. I'll say that in the end of my videos. But yeah, I will. I'll see you on the next one.